Good evening, fellow patrons. In today's video, we are showcasing the ABR assault rifle against Richtofen at health cap. Finding a way to beat Richtofen, or Ricky is what I like to call him, at such a high level took a lot of trial and error, but I do believe this strategy I cover in this video is the fastest and safest strategy for this battle. I have not yet completed the boss fight at round 100, but I will be implementing the same strategy you see in this video whenever I do attempt it. A lot of how-tos cover beating the boss with either the DM10, the GPR, Maelstrom, or the AMR. I wanted to figure out a way to beat this boss without relying on one of the metas. For the entire fight, most of the how-tos also were completed in the 20s or early 30s, which is well below health cap. I did use the AMR as my secondary gun, but only really used it to expedite the completion of the first phase against Uber Ricky. The ABR was used almost exclusively in the second phase of the boss fight. I was able to complete both phases in under 12 minutes. Testing guns at health cap against Easter egg bosses is one of my favorite videos to create on this channel, so I was extremely motivated to complete this boss fight with the ABR being my main weapon instead of one of the metas I listed earlier. I will go over the loadout and essential augments that I used to defeat Ricky. I will also include the entire boss fight in this video and a breakdown of how to execute this strategy effectively. I'll have chapters throughout the video to guide you guys as well. Starting with stamina, make sure you have the head target augment equipped, as this will mitigate the damage you take from the flying electricity orbs that are shot by Richtofen and Uberklauses. Supercharge from Speed Cola and Feto upgrade from Vulture Aid will help you charge your special upgrade or field upgrade as fast as possible. Most of the shots that you land on Richtofen will not be criticals, so the double standard augment from Double Tap makes a huge difference in terms of overall damage output. The Tribologist augment from PhD Flopper will allow you to traverse the arena much more quickly. Espresso and Stick and Move augments from Melee Macchiato will help your melee weapon maximize its kills when you are trying to upgrade your field upgrade, or charge your field upgrade. The major augments of Ether Shot are really not necessary. I would advise against the Burst Dash augment, as you do not want your character's position to be altered when you're activating the Shroud to shoot him. The strategy can work with both the Extra Charge or Extension augments, however I do think the Extension augment makes it easier. Diving into the ABR build I used for this boss fight, the Smoke Grenade Launcher is the most important attachment. This will maximize your time you are able to safely shoot Richtofen. It will also allow you to spawn in with stim shots instead of smoke grenades, which is a huge safety blanket when facing Richtofen. I will go over later in the video some tips on how to effectively launch the grenades. It is trickier than you think. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, almost all of the shots you land on Richtofen won't be criticals, so the CHF barrel is essentially worthless and only adds unnecessary recoil to your gun. The damage range of your weapon in this boss fight is something you need to consider, as you will be shooting Ricky from far away. I would recommend a long barrel so your damage output does not fall off. The Stray Lock laser will help you significantly in helping you lock onto Richtofen initially. It will also help you find him through the smoke if his character is not visible. The AMR does quick work of Uber Richtofen. You can destroy one shoulder pad in less than one clip. After you've destroyed both shoulder pads, finish off the commando classes that spawn in first with your gun. After you're done dealing with the suicide classes, the core classes will then spawn in. Once this happens, deploy the chopper gunner and target these classes first, that way you don't have to deal with them shooting electric orbs at you for the remainder of this phase. Be on the lookout for classes trying to explode themselves while you are in the chopper gunner. Shoot them down before they hit the chopper. You can also avoid having two Uberklauses spawn in on this phase by waiting until Richtofen is at around 25% health prior to killing the first Uberklaus that spawns in. I forgot to do that in this attempt because the AMR makes this phase so fast.
I should have let Modi dissect you! Samuel and Mary, the innocent! Idiots! She duped you!
Establish chopper gunnery above.
Marion Samuel deserved better!
It's a privilege to die by my hands. Shut your filthy mouth!
You heartless bastards!
Not so fast now. That's too bad.
You killed my family! Twice!
It is extremely important to finish off Uber Richtofen in a spot in the arena where you will be able to see him eject from the suit and fly around the map. I like to finish off Uber Richtofen behind the barrier you will see on screen shortly, because it allows you to break his line of sight with you prior to popping your smoke grenade. I found that the best place to pop your smoke grenade launcher during this transition period is in the center of the arena. It will give you the best visibility of his character while you're within the smoke grenade's cloud. If you deploy it in other areas of the arena, your view of him will be obstructed by various buildings or structures scattered around the map. The best tip I can give you when it comes to deploying smoke grenades is to not shoot them at your feet. Shoot them ahead of you and run into the cloud once the smoke appears. If you stand on top of the smoke grenade and wait for the smoke to surround you, Richtofen will be able to see you and he will zap you with his Wonder Waff. I highly recommend not using your Ether Shroud upon Richtofen first exiting the Uberklaus suit. After a small period of time, Richtofen will jetpack out of the arena. If you use your Ether Shroud right after he ejects from his suit, he will fly away before you are able to inflict enough damage to cause him to become immune to your weapons, which signals the end of the first phase. Once he takes off in his jetpack for the first time, he will pass once overhead dropping bombs. A siren will alert you that this is about to happen. This siren is then followed by a sound which resembles a rocket taking off, which signals his re-entry into the arena. Position yourself in the center of the arena once again and locate him in the sky. Ping him if you can. Once he touches down, immediately deploy your Ether Shroud. If you have inflicted enough damage in the smoke cloud, you should be able to make him immune before your Ether Shroud ends. Once Ricky becomes immune and takes off on a jetpack joyride, you have a few options on what to do next. If you have completed the first phase while only using one charge of your Ether Shroud, I would recommend detonating the C4 to spawn in a full power, insta-kill, and a nuke. I will include a few video clips to show those who do not know where these are located where to find them. Leading up to the time you detonate the C4, you will need to be extremely careful reloading. If you accidentally press square or the reload button too quickly for whatever reason, it may cause the C4 to detonate and spawn in at the wrong time. You do not want to find yourself in a position where you have popped a gobblegum like power keg or raindrops and then accidentally activate the C4 because the full power would go to waste as your field upgrade would already be charged. That is why I like detonating the C4 at this point to avoid this.
C4 deployed.
If you are low on gobbles or if you have struggled during the first phase and had to use multiple charges of Ether Shroud, you will need to use the time between the first and second phase to charge your field upgrade. Once Ricky is immune and takes off, you will have roughly 1 minute and 15 seconds before he returns. I would pop Arsenal Accelerator and Shields up if you have them at this time as well. Your field upgrade will charge a lot faster if you are able to eliminate zombies in rapid succession. You cannot afford to kill one zombie here and one zombie there. You will have to kill them as fast as possible if you want to fully charge your shroud prior to Ricky's return. In my experience, there is no faster weapon to do this with than the size. All you have to worry about during this intermission period is armored zombies and regular zombies. Armored zombies will take 2 hits to kill, while regular zombies are 1 and done. I did not have to charge my special in the match you have been watching, but the clip currently on screen I have included to show you how fast I was able to recharge my shroud.
Carry or not, right? Good work. Priming C4. Down for the count.
You may not be given the same immune sign indicator that signals the end of phase 2 of the boss fight like you did in phase 1, but the third phase begins shortly after Ricky gets below 50% health. You will hear what resembles a loud horn, and at this point he will then take off in his jetpack and you will have an additional 75 seconds before he returns. Approach the third phase of this fight in a similar way as you approached phase 2. If you have detonated the C4, then you'll have to focus on charging your special, or pop another gobblegum to refill your Ether Shroud. If you have used all your Ether Shroud charges and Richtofen is still not dead, you will need to rely on your smoke grenades to finish the job.
Apologies to my dentist.
Stuck
I
here.
need an upgrade.
Double pour fire kaboom. Bonus pour. Right of perks are max ammo. Full power.
Don't be impressed yet. I'll tell you when. There are worse ways to die, but not many. Head for my waypoint.
Can't stop the fires I'm heading! Here! Catch!
Using stim.
Cold.